Today, we are going to learn what is distance, displacement, speed, velocity and acceleration. Before going further, we need to understand the basic physics, that is, to understand the difference between scalars and vectors. Scalar is something which has magnitude or size, and vector has both magnitude or size and the direction. Let us understand in detail. Let's have a block on the ground at position A. And now we move this block to position B. So we have moved the block by distance d. Let's say that is 10 meters. So now, can you define if this measurement, 10 meter, is vector or scalar? We just know the measurement of 10 meters. We just know the magnitude of the movement. So when we just know the movement of an object from one position to another and we know only the magnitude, then it is scalar quantity. We do not know the direction of movement. This movement of object from one position to another is called the distance. So this block has moved a distance of 10 meters. We do not know whether it is moved in right or left, up or down. Now, let's say that we have moved the block by 10 meters to the right. Now, we know the magnitude and direction both, so it is vector quantity. This movement of object with the direction is called as displacement. In previous slide, we did not know the direction, hence it was scalar. Here in this case we know both magnitude and direction. So displacement is vector quantity. Let's imagine the distance of 10 meter was covered in 5 seconds. So at position A, it was obviously 0 second, and at position B, it is 5 seconds. So change in time or the duration is 5 seconds. What is the measurement of how fast the block has moved? So we can say block has moved 10 meters in 5 seconds. We know how fast the block has moved. Do we know the direction? So is it scalar or vector? It is a scalar quantity. How much fast something has moved is called the speed. Speed is distance covered unit time. Here, speed is equal to d divided by t. Now let's say block has moved to the right by 10 meters and it has taken 5 seconds to cover the distance. So, here, how fast the block has moved in the right is 10 meters divided by 5 seconds. In this case we know how fast block has moved and also we know the direction. So it is vector quantity. And it is called as velocity. If we don't know the direction, it is speed. Let's take daily life example. If you are traveling by car or bicycle, the distance covered by you per unit time is speed. Let's say you are traveling in the east direction. So displacement covered per unit time is velocity in the direction of east. Here, let's say car has traveled the distance of 20 meters in 4 seconds. While traveling, car has traveled with different velocities, as you can observe in the picture. The velocity of an object in motion at a specific point in time is called as instantaneous velocity. Here, v1, v2 and v3 are instantaneous velocity. Average velocity is the distance covered over the time in particular direction. Here, we can calculate the average velocity as distance, that 20 meters divided by time, that is 4 seconds. So the average velocity shall be 5 meters per second. Now, let us understand what is acceleration. Here, car is traveling at the velocity of 3 meters per second and, after some time, car is traveling at the velocity of 9 meters per second. Let's say the time taken to achieve this velocity difference is 3 seconds. The velocity of the car has changed. Acceleration is defined as the change in velocity over time. Here, how much velocity has changed? Initially it was 3 meters per second and finally achieved the velocity of 9 meters per second. Time taken for this velocity change is 3 seconds. So the acceleration is change in velocity, that is 9 minus 3, 6 meters per second divided by 3 seconds. So acceleration would be 2 meters per second square. Acceleration is vector quantity. It is measured in meters per second square. Subscribe Extra Class Academy for more educational content.